if it flies somewhere on this planet, somebody finishes the restoration, it may not be here the first year it's done, but sooner or later it's going to arrive here. And so if you really are the vintage airplane kind of nut that I am, you have to be here every year. You miss 4 or 5 airplanes you're never going to see again.
It's been a lot of fun being here, seeing what everybody's doing. Everything from the home built, the real high exotic stuff.
And this is the only one that remains in existence.
I tend to lean towards the classic Golden Age aircraft, and of course this behind me, just to see what's out there still.
This is a 1936 Lockheed Electra Junior. The airplane is very comfortable inside. It's just a very nice executive transport. It is the 8th one built and currently the oldest one flying in the United States. It took 19 years to restore it. We've been flying since '07. It's fun to fly and people love looking at it.
Behind me is this incredible airplane, this 1937 Spartan Executive.
I saw my first Spartan when I was 16, 17 years old in St. Louis, Missouri. Then when I saw it, I thought it was the most beautiful Art Deco thing I'd ever seen in my life. I told my dad, someday I'm going to own one of those.
There were only 34 produced back in the period from 1936 through 1940. And the most that have ever been assembled in a single place was 6. So as we got this going, we realized we're going to set an all-time record. It's never happened, probably never happen again. And finally, we ended up with 8 that we're going to fly into Oshkosh.
This is the beginning of flight. The airplane is a 1909 Curtiss pusher, and it's actually a restoration. The parts themselves are from a plane that's never been assembled before, so it is essentially a brand new 1909 Curtiss pusher. Well, the engineering was typically, you sat at a dinner table with a notepad, paper, and a ruler. You sketched things out, you went out and built it. If it worked, great. If it didn't work and you survived, then you came up with a new idea. Flight controls are completely different from anything anybody ever has flown. We like to tell people that basically everything you've learned to fly an airplane or drive a car, with the exception of one thing, is wrong. Everything is backwards or just so foreign that your muscle memory will basically get you in trouble. As far as I know, this is probably the earliest Curtiss that's original, and once it's flying, it'll probably be the earliest Curtiss airplane flying, and could possibly be the earliest airplane that's flying.
This is a replica of a 1909 Blériot 11, and we built it in 2009. It amazes me. I'd roll it off the trailer and start assembling it, and it attracts a crowd. It's an unusual airplane. There's not too many wing warping airplanes flying in the world now, and I could never get access to one, so I built this so I could fly a wing warping airplane.
This is a 1949 Navion. North Americans started building these in 1946 as the war was winding down, and they used the P-51 Mustang as the design. So this is our 70th anniversary, and we came out in mass here at Oshkosh with about 60 Navions, I would say. 10 of them are over in the warbird section because they did serve as warbirds during the Korean War. I didn't even know what a Navion was. I was looking to buy another airplane, and I went into a hangar, and here was this ugliest bird you have ever seen. And I walked around, and finally asked the guy, "What is it?" And it was a Navion, and I was in love.
This airplane has an incredible history. It was airborne at 7:55 in the morning on December 7th, 1941, over Pearl Harbor. As being flown by Cornelia Fort, she was the instructor in the back seat, and she saw this plane flash underneath her with the rising sun on the wings, and she went, "My goodness, we are under attack by the Japanese."
World War II started right then, with gunfire right there. The war started, the world changed. So this was a critical, the turning point in history. And this airplane was right there.
these airplanes are just beautiful. This is a 1936 Ryan ST.
There were 5 built, and this is the last existing one of the 5. A 10-year project from the time we started until it flew about a month ago. This airplane's 80 years old, but it's still fun to fly. You have to feel good when you got something that people like, and they sure seem to like it here.
There's not many guys my age that get a chance to relive their boyhood dreams, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And it's such a wonderful feeling to be part of it, because people coming up telling us it's the most beautiful airplane they've ever seen. And we've had compliments from people who are professional pilots. I just talked to an airline pilot. He wanted to buy the airplane. And it just, coming from people like that is so rewarding.
And also then, of course, there's the stories that somebody will come up and tell you about my grandfather or way back when, or I saw this, and that's a lot of fun.
Just that whole history, you know, and then coming here and all the other history that's here, you know, we're all part of history together.